what is your secret ingredient for tacos that probably no one else puts on their tacos?
It's a Bobby tradition.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Pickles.
Pickles?
Mm-hmm. Specifically, a pickle relish from Clausen. You go for some. He's going for a triple backflip, sideways flip, double burial. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey everyone, we wanted to give a update on how things are going with the pregnancy, but also kind of take a moment to recognize that at this point in the pregnancy, we have reached the same gestational age that we would have been, or Charles would have been when we lost him in February. And so obviously that's bringing up some emotions that we wanted to share with you, and it's also kind of giving us a chance to just reflect on that time and on the event of having and losing Charles, and also just kind of thinking about, I guess, how thankful we are for the time that we have now with this baby.
Alright, you guys, here's the belly update. 19 weeks. I feel huge. Look at that. I'm pregnant. There's a big baby right there. I just wanted to do something today to, I don't know, just do something, because even though it doesn't seem maybe like it should matter, it feels like it does matter. Today is 19 weeks and 5 days for this pregnancy that we're currently in. So I just felt like today, since when I found out I was pregnant, I knew today was going to be a milestone, but I didn't really know how big of a deal to make it. Like, I didn't want to make it too big of a deal and live out of fear, like, oh, it's coming. But I feel like you can't really help that sometimes. And in fact, I think my body has been, honestly, I think just like kind of holding some trauma this whole year, and then it kind of came out this week a little bit in unexpected ways. Even though we're not living like in a ton of fear today or anxiety that it's going to happen again, it definitely is just, for me, an important day to acknowledge it and let it pass by. So yeah.
Yeah, so how did you feel last night?
Before
you went to bed, what were you thinking about?
Well, it's actually more this week. So it started like Sunday going, because that's when I turned 19 weeks. I was like, oh, it's this week, you know. It's the week I've been dreading / really excited for, because I just wanted to get it over with, but I also just didn't want it to happen. I just wanted to like skip to week 20. This week has been kind of up and down. Like, mostly I feel okay. And then on Wednesday night, we were at a choir, and it's actually my first time singing in that choir this year, but I was definitely using my abs more than usual, and I don't know if that's what caused it, or if it was trauma from February or what, because when I went into labor I was singing as well, and so I'm not sure what it was, but we ended up going to the ER that night because my body started having really sharp flashes of pain really consistently for a few hours. And so I was really afraid, obviously, that my stitch was maybe ripping apart, or even though that's like really not gonna happen. But I just, you know, my brain is like, I just need to check.
Oh, yeah. It's been about 3 hours at the hospital. I'm dying a little bit. I hate hospitals in general, and this pregnancy, due to the nature of the situation, has had us coming to the hospital a lot more than I would care to come in a year, in the course of like 2 or 3 months. I had just finished choir and I was driving home, and I got a call from Danny saying that she was in some pain. She had some like sharp shooting pains in her abdomen, and that she was going to head to the hospital. So of course I went to the hospital and met her there, and then we signed in, and she was pretty much in and talking to someone within a few minutes. Then we had to go back out into the waiting room and ended up waiting another hour and a half, and finally got in. The first person that we've seen has told us that what's happening, or what could be happening now, is placenta hemorrhage or something. It's like a minor separation of the placenta from the uterus or uterine wall. Probably unlikely is what they were saying because of the symptoms and everything, but they're going to check just to be sure. And we really can't be too careful at this point, so we're just trying to pull out all the stops and make sure that Danny's healthy and that there's nothing wrong.
It's kind of a sketchy week for me anyways, because last time it was this week when we gave birth, but I don't think I'm going to give birth. And just, even right now, I'm having like sharp pain, really low, and I just don't know what it is. It's not like contracting or anything scary like that. I hope it's just like my stomach stretching. I don't know.
So
we just want this baby to be okay.
Yep. Another hour passed by.
We did 2 types of ultrasounds. They measured everything and checked the placenta and just made sure everything's fine. And they said everything looks perfect. They said the cerclage looks competent, and the cervix is 5 centimeters, which is very good. And they said the pain I could be experiencing, it gets kind of confusing what you're feeling, because it can get pretty bad to the point where it can feel like contractions. But their best guess is that it's just some round ligament pain. We ended up being okay, and the baby's perfect, and my cervix is perfect, the cerclage is perfect, everything's perfect. What are you thinking today, Nick?
I guess I just didn't even register that today was significant at all until Danny told me. Like, I guess I'm excited to be past the milestone, but I also don't really, like, I haven't really been thinking a lot about, oh, it's a big deal to make it past the next, or to make it past this day. Because I would imagine that if there was a complication or something, it wouldn't fall in the same day. It would, happen some other time. I'm thankful that we've made it this far. I'm thankful that we know what we know now. I think, again, just like thankful for February and for Charles's life. We wouldn't even like have had any moment to pause and reflect at all, I guess, if that hadn't happened. And I don't know, it is kind of, if we could do it again, I guess I wish we had been more willing to go to the ER the first time around.
Yeah, every time we go to the ER, even though it sucks and the ER is gross, literally so gross, like they do not clean the waiting room. Well, they got better things to do, but we're also just like so thankful we did it every time.
Yeah,
we didn't have that.
It sucks, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Hey everybody. So, it's the night of the same day. I'm alone. Nick was at his boss's house for dinner, and I just was doing my Bible study and also just kind of reflecting a lot tonight because, yeah, I've just been in a reflecting mood all day, and it's pretty late right now, but I just wanted to talk about just this journey I've been on since last February, since, I don't know, this day where Charles was born. And in the Bible study, I asked you to think back on your life and name 3 events that would kind of be like big events in your autobiography. And it's interesting because I was thinking back and I just could not go past February. Like, of course there were times previous to this loss that were very important to my life and deserve to be spoken about, and I did find them eventually, and I had to go like back and back, but originally I just it struck me how much I feel like I'm living a new life. That's just kind of something I've been thinking about, is just how impactful an event can be on someone's life and actually make them feel like a new person. One thing that I wanted to really honor Charles with is that his life really put me on my life path, and he led me to my calling and my destiny. As a spiritual woman, I just feel like he was the thing I needed the most in order to be guided. And so the fact that I feel like I'm in a new life is not an exaggeration. I am living a completely different way of life now. Not only just with what I do, but it's mostly how I think. And I just feel like God has been encountering me so much this year in my dreams and in my waking state. I just feel like I can count on him every day for something miraculous, some type of encounter. And it's becoming more and more real to me every day that I would not be here without this whole year happening. I would not be where I am today on my spiritual path without Charles. So I just wanted to come in here and honor that. And then also I wanted to read one verse that I read tonight that really struck me. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16 to 18, and that is, "So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal." And this year, for me, the things that are unseen have become more real than ever, and I'm very encouraged. I've been so called this year to almost like study heaven and earth, and I've been really interested. And it really became out of desperation. I really needed the hope of eternity, and this is not just me hoping. It's becoming more and more real every day. In fact, me hoping was not enough. I needed evidence, and Jesus has met me in real life, in real visions, to give me hard evidence. And I'm just so overwhelmed with his faithfulness to not only, he knows what we need. And I'm the kind of person that I just needed a visual. I needed evidence. I was trying so hard to just have faith, but it was not working. And God helped me have faith by giving me dreams and visions of heaven and Charles and meeting me in the spirit. So that's been really cool. I just wanted to really honor just this whole year. And I know it hasn't been a year yet, but today just feels really important to acknowledge all the ways I've grown. I just wanted to thank Charles and just God for showing me the light and showing me that the things that are unseen are more important than the things that are seen, and that there's a lot more hope than I had ever imagined. And I know I'm just tapping the surface, and I know that literally my rest of my life is going to be on a certain path because of Charles. And I am so thankful, because it's a path of life, it's a path of Jesus, and it's just I'm very hopeful. I just want to declare life over myself, and this is my cat, by the way. I want to declare life over myself and my family and this baby that's dwelling in my womb, that there is life to be had, and no death, no fear. And this is a different mindset than I had earlier, and so I'm just really thankful. And I can actually just sit here and believe that instead of like fighting for it. But it's pretty holy. Just realizing, like, I know, because Charles was born tonight, like, but in his pregnancy, I know like what this baby looks like. Like I know how big he is or around that size, and just everything is perfect in this baby. Like when Charles was born, we were blown away by how detailed his hands and feet and his face and his whole body were. Like we could just see the frame was just Nick. It was crazy. And so as I'm just sitting here feeling this baby kick, I understand like how beautiful and unique this baby is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, just thank you so much for your continued support. We love you, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.